Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into Alibaba's new AI, Qwen3-Max-Preview. And this isn't just, another model update. We're talking a trillion parameter scale, huge, and a pretty big strategic shift, too. So our mission today, unpack the tech behind it and figure out what this move to closed source really means. Okay, let's really get into this. A trillion parameters. I mean, it sounds massive, almost abstract. But what does that scale actually do for an AI? What's the real difference it makes?
That's exactly the right place to start. It's not just about being bigger. Think of it less like adding more memory and more like
Yeah.
enabling a different kind of thinking.
Mm.
It lets the model handle really complex reasoning tasks and manage much longer context windows more effectively than we've seen before.
Right, so it's not just processing power, it's about deeper understanding,
Yeah.
making connections. And I guess that's where the benchmarks come in,
No.
because it's performing really well, isn't it?
Absolutely. The performance numbers are quite striking, actually. It didn't just beat Alibaba's older Quinn models, which you might expect. It actually outperformed some major players. Think Claude Opus 4, Kimi K2, DeepSeek V3.1, and it won out on specific, really tough benchmarks like Super GPQA and LiveCode Bench V6. That definitely signals it's, well, state of the art right now.
Wow, okay, so the power is there, but practically speaking, what can this thing actually do? What are the features that someone might use day to day?
Good question. Well, one standout is the context window. It's massive.
Oh.
262,144 tokens. That means it can process incredibly long documents, complex legal contracts, or, large code bases all in one go.
262,000 tokens, that's enormous.
It is. And they've built in context caching, too, which should mean faster responses over time and lower running costs, which is important for businesses. Beyond that, it's really optimized for that complex reasoning we talked about, handling structured data, creative generation, someone even got it, to generate a whole voxel pixel garden from one prompt. And it's good for those multi-step, agent-based workflows, too. Early testers even said it felt faster than ChatGPT sometimes.
Interesting. And you mentioned businesses. What about accessing it? Is it locked away or?
That brings us to the cost and accessibility. They've introduced tiered pricing. It actually starts at around 0.861 per million input tokens.
Oh, okay, so that's surprisingly accessible for something this powerful.
It seems intended to be, yeah, balancing the high-end tech with practical deployment.
But there's a catch, right? Or rather, a big strategic change in how it's being released compared to older Quinn models?
Exactly. That's the other major part of the story. Unlike many previous Quinn models, which were open source, Qwen3-Max-Preview is closed source. It's only available via API through Alibaba Cloud or platforms like QuinnChat, OpenRouter, and AnyCoder on Hugging Face.
So a definite shift away from open access. Why do that?
Well, there are likely a few reasons. Monetization is probably a big one. These models are incredibly expensive to train and run. It also allows them to offer more reliable, sort of enterprise-grade access and support. It definitely reflects the rising costs associated with building these ultra-large models.
Okay, makes sense from their perspective. But what does that mean for the bigger picture, for AI development overall, for, smaller players or researchers?
That's the key question, isn't it? If this becomes the norm, if more AI labs move their most powerful models behind paid APIs, it could really change the landscape. Access to the cutting edge might become much more concentrated. It potentially makes it harder for startups, independent researchers, the open source community to keep pace. It might reshape who gets to innovate at the frontier.
So Qwen3-Max-Preview is kind of two things at once. A big technological leap forward.
Definitely. A milestone in scale and capability.
And also a signal of a potential strategic shift in the whole AI industry towards more controlled access.
Precisely. Which leads to a really important question for all of us, I think. As these models get into the trillion parameter range and beyond, should they remain open source? Or is controlled access, maybe tiered access like this, the necessary way forward?
That's a big question. Something to definitely think about as AI keeps accelerating. What do you think about this balance? We hope this deep dive gave you some food for thought on Alibaba's latest move. If you found this insightful, do us a favor, hit that like button, share it with someone else who finds this stuff interesting, and definitely subscribe to the channel for more deep dives like this one.